Now we can do another LSAT logic game. We're going to use test number 65 that was administered in December 2011. We're going to section 2 and we're going to questions 12 through 16 because we're going to a luncheon. The luncheon will have exactly 5 dishes and there are 8 choices. There are 2 desserts, F and G. There are 3 main courses, N, O, and P, and there are 3 side dishes, T, V, and W. Only F, N, and T are hot dishes. So up on the top of each of these lists, we can thank the nerds. Those are the hot dishes. At least 1 dessert, at least 1 main course, and at least 1 side dish must be included. At least 1 hot food must be included. So we have to have 1, but we could have more than 1. If either P or W is selected, both must be selected. So this arrow goes in both directions. If G is selected, O must be selected. And so that goes in just one direction. And if N is selected, V cannot be selected, so they don't like each other. Then we look at the sketch and we realize that F has no conditions on it and T has no conditions on it, and both of those are hot foods. Now we can use the first question to test our rules against the conditions. First of all, it looks like P and W should be together, but if we look at answer D, P is there and W is not, so that won't work. If G is there, O must be there, and if we look at answer C, there's a G and there's no O, so we eliminate that. And then N and V can't be together, and if we look at answer A, they are together, so that won't work. Now we get this vague rule about hot meals, F, N, and T, and we're down to B and E. If we look at F and T, we find it in B. And if we look at E, we have G, O, P, V, W. We don't have any hot meals. That won't work. So our answer is B. What does it say? F, O, P, T, W. So it gives us 2 hot meals. O doesn't need G, and P and W are together. Which of the following is a pair of foods of which the organizer of the luncheon must select at least 1? So, can we eliminate both of the answers and still have a meal? Look at answer A, F and T. Can we get rid of F and T? We could have N as a hot meal, and then GO. We could do PW. We could do a lot of things there. How about eliminating G and O? Well, then we could have F, and then we could have P and W, and then we could have N or T or V. We could do a lot of different possibilities there. What about C? Could we get rid of both N and T? Well, then we could have F, and then we can get rid of G and O, P and W. We might even toss in a V if we need it, as long as we have F as a hot meal. Look at answer D, O and P. If we get rid of O, we lose G. If we get rid of P, we lose W. We lose 4 of our 8, and we need 5, so we need at least 1 of O and P. And if we look in the first sketch, we had both O and P. So D's our answer. Question 14. If O is the only main course selected, well, look what happens. If O is not there, then N is not there, and if P is not there, then W is not there. That's 3 out of 8, so everything else has to be there. We need V, we need T, we need F, and we need G. So all of those other things are going to have to be on our meal. Just to remind ourselves, we've got 2 desserts and we've got 2 side dishes. Now, the question says, which of the following cannot be selected? So we've actually done more work than we need to. So it's going to be either N, P, or W. And if we look at the answers, W is answer E. And they didn't put N and P there because they can't have 2 right answers. So the answer is E. 15. If F is not selected, well, if F is not selected, then we definitely need a G and we definitely need an O. And then somewhere along the way we have to have a side dish and we have to have a hot dish, but we could do N, we could do T. There's a couple of possibilities, and so we don't necessarily know what's happening. And that's why it says which of the following could be true. P is the only main course. No, O is a main course, so that can't be true. T is the only side dish selected. If we did only T, we'd eliminate P and W and V, and we'd lose 3 out of our 5 necessary. Won't work. Exactly 2 hot foods are selected. Could we have both N and T? Well, then we'd lose V. But then look what happens. We'd have to use either P or W, and we'd have to have both P and W, so we can't have both hot foods. Exactly 3 main courses are selected. Well, could we do N? Could we do P? And then we'd have W, and that will work. We could have 3 main, and one of them would be hot. So our answer is D. Question number 16. If T and V are the only side dishes, T and V are the only side dishes, which means we have to get rid of W, which means we have to get rid of P, and because V is there, we have to get rid of N. Does this look familiar? This is the same logic we used on an earlier question. We've lost 3, so everything else has to go on. We need an F, we need a G, and we obviously need an O, and we've got a couple of hot foods. Then which one of the following is a pair of foods, each of which must be selected? Answer A, F, and G. Oh, by the way, did you notice that this is the same sketch that we already had? It's a good thing sometimes on the games to do nothing. Testing for the public. Nonprofit since 1985. Nobody makes things easier.